Hello, good afternoon. Michael Wynn, Chief Digital Officer of Digital Ops, a division of RB Oppenheim Associates. Welcome to the Digital Marketing Podcast and video series, where we talk about digital marketing strategies and tactics to help grow your business. Today, I want to talk about 7 simple steps to create your target audience persona map. Maybe you're thinking, what in the world is a persona map? Well, think about it this way. Americans, we are fascinated with crime drama, right? We all love crime drama. Think about CSI when it came out. Everybody watched CSI. It was like, the most amazing crime drama show ever made. They had spinoffs, crime, CSI Miami, CSI, New York, and on and on and on. And all the movies around crime drama. And it all usually centers around the idea of an FBI profiler person. Speaking of which, I love that whole Mine Hunter series, right? Where they, were trying to figure out and where the CIA sort of developed this whole profiler analysis, like on Netflix. Again, I for sure am obsessed with the theory of, can you observe someone's behavior to determine what they're going to do next before they do it, to catch them before they commit the next crime? And that's what we're talking about today with the 7 simple steps to create your target audience persona map. So the idea is, what is the persona? What are the interests, and what are the behaviors, and what are the things that are important to your particular target audience, and how do you kind of work through those things and create this map? Because this persona map is really what's going to inform you and help you create your creative, help you determine where you need to have your creative go, where you need to have your media placement. It really helps develop your strategy and allows you to, strategically think about what you're saying, how you're saying it, and who you're saying it to. So let's dive right into this. Number 1, what are they trying to accomplish every day? You have to think about their daily routine. So whether your company is a service provider or whether you sell products, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, there's some part of the person that you're trying to reach that they're trying to accomplish. What are their daily goals? Are they just trying to get from the house to the grocery store and back to feed their kids? If young moms are your target audience and you're, kind of thinking through, they're worried about what's for lunch, what's for dinner, are we going to have leftovers? Do I have breakfast for tomorrow? What is their routine, their daily routine? When brands are able to step inside of the shoes and walk an entire day of their target audience, they start to understand and start to draw a line around a map. Like in the movies, how they put that one pin and then they draw the piece of yarn and they connect it to the other thing. That's what we're talking about, this persona map, right? So once you do that, then we start thinking like an FBI profiler and understanding what they're trying to accomplish. Now that we understand what they're trying to accomplish, now how can our product or service help them accomplish the things that they're trying to do faster, or save them time, or save them money, or provide less stress? How do we make their life better through the products and service that we offer, right? But we can't answer that until we do number 1, which was what? Think about what they're trying to accomplish every day. And then number 2, then start to write out, maybe 2 or 3 bullet points of, we can help you drive to the grocery store better, or we can help you create a list so that when you go to the grocery store, you spend less time in the store and you're able to get back home so that you can do what you need to do. So number 2 is make that list of 2 or 3 or 4 items of how you can make their life better, faster, less stress. Now, number 3 is start to think about, what are their long-term goals? oh, that's really interesting if you think about it. Because if you can think about what someone's goals are, you are really getting inside of their head. You're really getting inside of what is important to them and what are these long-term goals. Like, I mean, we're not just talking about bucket lists. Like, we're talking about, 3-year, 5-year, 10-year plans. Can you visualize, can you envision what those goals are? Again, we're trying to build this persona map. We're trying to put the strings together and formulate this profile of our target audience and understand what's important to them. And number 3, as we're saying, is what might be their long-term goals. So of course, number 4 is going to be, how can we help them get there, right? But you can't answer that question until you first think about what are those goals. You list them out. And then number 4, you go in and you do a list again of 3 or 4 ways that your product or service can help them get there faster. Now, I love number 5. Number 5 is, how can you help boost them above their peers? How can you help elevate them above the other people that they think they need to be, be perceived as what their value is, right? So, maybe it's not their peers, maybe it's their parents, and they want to appear smart that they've purchased this item and it was a wise decision, right? Then in the eyes of their parents, which we all know it's really hard sometimes, to get the approval of parents, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother show. What we're talking about right now is we're talking about how can you help boost them above. Maybe you get them promoted faster. Maybe you see career advancement because, they've made this decision, they've gotten this product or they've bought this service and so their department has soared. Like, can you visualize how you're going to get them from here to there, right? And then write that down, right? You've got to write that down and make a list of 3 or 4 items because, again, now we've got this map where we've got these pins of what's their daily routine, what are their goals, what are their peers, what are the threshold of their peers, right? So then number 6 is, what are they researching? What are they finding out about your competitor? Because I guarantee you that someone who's thinking about buying the product or service that your company offers, they are already doing comparison shopping of what are the other things that are out there. So you need to understand, and here's the thing, it's going to be difficult, but if you can take off your own bias and you can think about and try to literally put on your target audience, like their glasses, and look at the world and look at the Google search results and look at the YouTube videos and look at the Reddit threads that are based on the topics that are related to the research that they're doing as it relates to your product, then again, you're beginning to get inside their head like an FBI profiler, right? Like, that is what we're trying to do here, because we've got to create this persona map so that when we're ready to launch our marketing campaigns, we can speak to them on a personal level because we've actually walked in their shoes. We've thought about their daily routine. We've thought about their long-term goals. We've thought about what their peers think about them. We've looked at what they've read. And lastly, number 7 is drafting messages that speak to counterpoint, if you will, to maybe some of those things. Maybe you address, that the competition is saying that, X is the way to go, or that, there's a perception that Y is the service that you should take or product you should buy. And maybe you start, drafting messaging around the idea that's counterpoint to those things. Again, this is really very basic, sort of public relations messaging, to do counterpoint when there seems to be a prevailing public perception of a product or a service or a place or a business or, you know, some piece of legislation or whatever it might be. But what we're talking about is again, it all centers around, I know that there are companies out there that are not going out there and trying to search to see what the competition is doing. Now, there are other businesses that are. You know, there are absolutely businesses who are smart, savvy businesses who are trying to go out there and search to see, like, are there any counterfeit products that are like the products that we make, you know? And if they are, you know, what might be my perception of that counterfeit versus that real product, you know, like what are the differences, right? And then how do we use that in our messaging to think through these points? So again, I think today's message in today's episode is so key when you really think about sort of these 7 simple steps to create your target audience persona map. Like, you've got to act like an FBI profiler. You've got to take a minute and really get inside the daily routine of what they do on a daily basis and think about, number 2, how can you help them in their daily lives, improve their lives, make it faster, easier, less stress? What are their long-term goals? Number 3. Number 4, how can you help them get to their long-term goals? Number 5, how can you boost them above their peers or to those that matter most, that their opinions matter the most? And then number 6, what are they researching on the internet in Google or YouTube or Reddit or Quora? You know, and then the results that they see, you read it, you interpret it, try to think of it the way they think of it. And then number 7, begin to draft your messaging as you've collected all of these points, and you're really inside the mind of that person, and you're trying to anticipate what are they going to do before they do it. Because if we can reverse engineer this, we can get our messaging right. We can create a perfect audience persona map. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Michael Wynn. I'm the Chief Digital Officer of Digital Ops, a division of RB Oppenheim Associates. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.